amazing Jeff Sexton.
Today we honor the life of a very exceptional speedway rider, and that's number 14. One of the first famous number 14s. There's a few others that have followed, like Billy Gennaro and Eddie Castro. But Jeff Sexton was one of the first number 14s. Perhaps one of Jeff's major accomplishments was back in the '74 United States Speedway Nationals at the Costa Mesa Fairgrounds. The boring Costa Mesa. And Jeff, he finished second place in the Nationals, and he missed winning the Nationals by 6 feet. That's 2 meters. Jeff Sexton nearly won that championship, and he was a good sport. It must be heartbreaking to lose the national championship by only 6 feet. And he was in a couple of Speedway Nationals, and that was definitely his best finish. He beat Mike Bass, who was in third place in that particular event. And the winner was Steve Bass, and that was Steve's final United States Speedway Nationals. We know that Steve was also an awesome rider, and he was fast. And they all celebrated the victory. Jeff Sexton included, with Mike, the brother of Steve. They were celebrating the victory, the United States Championship. Jeff Sexton was known for his hardcore riding. He was a competitor, you know, with Steve Bass. Jeff Sexton was one of the fierce competitors of Speedway back in the day. And they both were 1 and 2 in that '74 National Championship. But he was a fierce rider. Started his riding in Montclair, California, over by Ontario, Southern California. I think his papa owned a Mako shop, and the Makos were doing well back in the early days. However, the Japanese motorcycles came, and they kind of put those Braco Makos out of business. You know, the Makos had a reputation of breaking. That's why they called them Braco Makos. But they were great bikes, and they were fast, and I apologize if you like the Makos. But Jeff Sexton just was an early day TT rider, and he was just a great athlete in motorsports. He had a serious future in racing. Jeff was only 16 years old. He had this horrible accident. He broke a bunch of vertebrae in his back, I think 3 of them, and he broke his spine, his spleen, and he was in the hospital for a long time. And Jeff Sexton, he was a determined racer. The doctor gave a 50-50 chance of walking again. However, Jeff Sexton was going to prove those doctors wrong, that he could get up and not only walk, but he could go ahead and compete for that '74 United States Speedway Championship. Jeff Sexton was only a young rider, like a first-year rider, only 16 years old. But he just had that fierceness, that ferocity to keep pushing, to keep plowing through things, and to keep making success as a Speedway rider.